Hi, welcome to Back to School Night. I'm Mr. Su. This is my video for IB Math. So I came from the Orange County area. I studied at UCLA. I was there for 6 years. I started off studying electrical engineering for 3 years, and I decided I wanted to teach instead. And so I switched my major to cognitive science. I took a number of high-level math classes there, as well as computer science classes. And so I like to use technology when I teach. I also went to UC Irvine. That's where I got my teaching credential, and I also got a master's degree there in secondary education. I've been a teacher for 11 years now. This is my first year at looking to high school. And prior to this, I was working at Coachella Valley Unified. Okay, how to be successful in this class. Make sure you have a notebook, a pencil, a charged Chromebook. You're going to also need a graphing display calculator. Our most common one in our class is the TI-84 Plus. It's the one I use when I'm demonstrating for students. Also for homework and for studying, make sure that you have a quiet area at home to do both those things. Also, make sure you complete work with integrity. That means don't just copy the work from. I post answer keys for this class, and so don't just copy the work just to get the credit. Okay, you can copy it to kind of help you learn how to do it, and you should be asking questions when you don't understand when it's not making sense, right? How to get to the final answer, and how you sometimes you want more work just to make it clear for yourself. And so you should be seeking out, asking questions of your classmates and of me during those times. Likewise, during class, if a lesson is not making sense, you can ask during the lesson. You can also ask during work time if you're a little bit embarrassed about doing it in front of a lot of people. And the last thing is we want to make sure you check the daily agenda for assignments, especially if you're absent. And also check to see if there are quizzes or tests that you missed. And if you can keep track of that, then you can let me know the next day or whenever you return that you need to make those up. Okay. For the graphing calculator, some more details on that. It is required. This is from our syllabus. There are some other models that are acceptable. TI-83 and the TI Nspire is also okay. It is okay for you to have borrow these from other people or buy it used. The TI-84 looks something like this, in case you were wondering. Okay, Google Classroom has a number of important links. If you're still not on Google Classroom, here are the codes if you're in period 1 or period 2. So let me go ahead and show the Google Classroom here. Google Classroom at the moment only has 2 links. There's a Zoom meeting that I'll usually run when I'm teaching. That's typically for students who are having trouble seeing the board or my TV screen, my LFD, because it is smaller if they're in the back or on the sides. If there is more of a demand for it, I may also turn on the microphone during that time for those of you that may be wanting to join in if you're absent and do it from home. Okay. Our other link is the daily agenda. This one's pretty important. Okay, if you go to that one, you can see every day I've got kind of an overview of what we're doing that day, the learning target, the warm-up, the agenda. And so I'll often have videos posted up that I make for students. Okay, this video shows. Okay, maybe that's 9. Term 9 would have 8 ratios. This one on top with this new that one. And so these can be helpful. Sometimes it's just a explanation for where a formula comes from. Sometimes I'm actually doing problems that will be helpful, especially if you're having a hard time following along during the live lesson. With the videos, you can pause, you can rewind, you can rewatch. So that should be a helpful tool this year. I'm also posting up the PDFs of the homework assignments. So if you missed it, if you have a printer, you can stay caught up and just print it out from home yourself, or you can ask me the next time you're back in class, and hopefully I'll have some extra copies ready to go for you, or I can print it for you as well, perhaps outside of class time. I also have the keys as well for our assignments. Keep an eye on when there's quizzes or tests as well on the daily agenda, so you can make sure you stay caught up with that as well. Grading policy, A's are in the 90 range, B's 80s, C is the 70s, D is the 60s, and below that would be the F's. This year we're covering topics from number and algebra, functions, geometry and trigonometry, statistics and probability, and hopefully we get to some calculus at the end of the year. The breakdown of our grading is 10% is homework, 10% will be our big project, the IB exploration, 10% will be the final exam, and then 70% will be tests and quizzes. There is also the option of taking the IB examination in May. This costs $120. That's due on October 15th. I'll be talking about that more in class as that date approaches. You can earn some college credit depending on your score and if the university accepts it. Okay, if you need to contact me, or if you have further questions, you can always email me at this email address, jason.su@desertsands.us, or you can also call the school and ask them to connect to me. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll go ahead and end my video here.